Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today's video is kind of fun for me. I'm going to do a top 10 scariest Disney villains list. So these are the top 10 villains from Disney movies that I think are like really scary. And like, Disney villains aren't scary, but when I was younger, these were pretty scary to me, and some of them are still scary now. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go through the list. So the way I'm gonna do the list is go 10 to 1, 10 being the least scariest and 1 being the most scariest. And this is it's gonna be great. So when I mention a villain, I'll put a picture here or here, I don't know, somewhere, and that way you can kind of visualize why I think it's kind of scary, or the villain is kind of scary. So yeah, I guess let's get into the list. I wrote the list down here because if not, I would probably forget. Okay, so starting with number 10, the least scariest, I have Hades. And Hades is like really funny in the Hercules movies, but like when you think of Hades, you think of like, you know, like, I don't know, you just think of him being the god of destruction, and it's kind of scary. Like, yeah, and that head of fire does not help. I used to be scared, especially that part where he gets like really mad and he just like, his entire face and just his whole head is just like a ball of fire. That was a pretty scary scene, so that's why I have him here. I'll put a picture of that scene here. That way you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so number 9 on my list is Hook. So Hook in the Disney like animated classic Peter Pan, he's not very scary. But then I was thinking of other sort of Peter Pan reimagined like movies, or yeah, like movies, and I was thinking of Hook. And Hook is still a Disney movie, but that Hook, who's played by, I don't know his actual name, but it's the guy that plays Lucius Malfoy in Harry Potter. So him as Hook in this movie is really scary. Like, animated classic Hook is like really funny and he's not like scary, you just kind of feel bad for him. But in the movie Hook, he's kind of creepy, so that's why he is on my number 9. Okay guys, so the next villain I have on my list is number 8, and that is Yzma. So Yzma is from the Disney movie Emperor's New Groove, which is so underrated, and I don't know why, because it's such a good movie. It's really funny, and I absolutely, Yzma just has that like scary old lady look. Like, I'll put a picture here or whatever here, and it's just so scary. And honestly, she looks like this purple skeleton just walking around. Come here. So yeah, she looks like this purple skeleton that just walks around. So number 7 on my list is Cruella, and there was no way she was not gonna. There was no way she was not going to be on this list. I mean, it doesn't matter what kind of like remake or whatever Disney movie they do of the Dalmatians, Cruella is always scary. But she's definitely scariest in the classic Disney's 101 Dalmatians animated film, because the hair and I don't know, she is just so scary, so intense, and she used to scare me a lot when I was younger. Like, okay, so the next 2 villains that I have on my list, 6 and 5, I was debating on which order I wanted to put them, but I think I like the order that I put them in. So at number 6, I have Scar from the Disney movie The Lion King. Yeah, Scar is just super creepy. Like, he skulks around in the dark, and most of the time all you can see in that movie are his eyes and his scar, and yeah, it's just so scary. I used to be really scared of Scar. Like, I don't know, like, Scar is just so friggin' scary. And that scene where we see him telling Simba how his father actually died, and they show like a little flashback, and all you see is Scar's paws and his eyes and everything, and then he just lets go and he makes this freaking scary face, and it's crazy. I'll try to find a picture of that scene, but if not, I'll just put a picture of Scar. But yeah, he is definitely on this list. Like, there's no way. So number 5 above Scar is Kaa. Kaa is the snake from the Disney movie Jungle Book. So I was going back and forth between Scar and Kaa, because Kaa is like funny at times, but when he does the hypnotizing thing, it is the scariest thing ever. And that smirk that he does, so he definitely bumps Scar, and I don't know. So at number 4, I have Ursula. Ursula is the villain in the Disney movie The Little Mermaid, and my gosh, how is she not gonna be on this list? She has freaking 8 tentacles as her bottom half. She has the scariest laugh, and she's like a wizard or a witch or whatever she does. She can do magic, and that is the scariest thing ever. Like having a dark wizard or witch or sea monster doing things to you. Like, yeah. And again, there's this scene where Ursula is, I don't know, she like took, I think it's the scene where after she took Ariel's voice, like, just goes kind of dark, and all you see are her eyes or something, and it's freaking scary. And that song that she sings, I love it, but also it's creepy. So that's why she's on number 4, and I did have her as number 3, but now that I'm looking at my list, the next villain, which comes in at number 3, is Hopper. Hopper is from the Disney Pixar movie A Bug's Life, and let me tell you, Hopper is a freaking cricket. No, he's a grasshopper, and I think crickets and grasshoppers and all of those kinds of creatures are the worst. Like, they scare me so much. And Hopper in A Bug's Life, there's a scene where it's like super dark, and all you see is his ugly, like, wrinkly, stick-looking face, and it's the worst. And then there's like a scene where you see him like flying, and you just see like parts of him just falling, and I'm like, ew, that is disgusting. So yeah, he is definitely number 3. Hopper, if you have not seen A Bug's Life, you probably should. It's a really good movie, but just beware. Hopper is very scary. Actually, all of the grasshoppers in that movie are so terrifying and so nasty, but it's still a good movie. Okay, so at number 2, I have Jafar. So Jafar is so creepy, so ugly looking, and so scary. Especially when he becomes the snake. I just can't. And if you don't know, Jafar is the villain in the Disney movie Aladdin. So there's not much I can say about Jafar except that he is just so scary. And at number 1 is Frollo. Frollo? Yeah. And he is the Disney villain from the movie Hunchback of Notre Dame. Notre Dame or Notre Dame? I never know which way to call it, or I never know which way it's actually pronounced, but I'm gonna go with Notre Dame. So Frollo, if you don't know, he is the old guy that takes in Quasimodo and raises him and everything. But he is like the type of scary that gives you nightmares. Like, just seeing his face, he's so creepy, and he's always skulking in the dark, and he's always like doing things, and the worst part is like he's like a real monster in that movie, and I have no words. Just know that he is the scariest villain on my list. Know down below what you think of my list, and who are some of your like scariest Disney villains, or just villains in movies or TV shows at all. Thanks for watching my video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye. Stay geeky.